Hey, what's going on, everybody? BDF 44 coming at you another video. All right, so I just want to sound off, man. Normally, when I'm in the dark, it's usually like 3 a.m. or something like that. But right now, no, it's nothing like that. This is me under the cover, just at a regular hour in the day. It's like 6 o'clock in the afternoon. In California, we just had yet another shooting, mass shooting. This is two in a matter of 24 hours, both affecting the Chinese community. In a very, very devastating way. One in Northern California, another one down here in Southern California. The one in Northern California was just reported less than 5 minutes ago. I'm literally jumping on the screen fresh off the news. And I just wanted to send condolences to everyone affected by these shootings. Sending major love to my Chinese friends and family who are out there, who follow me. You know, I feel devastated that this is happening. And I wonder if there's something to that other than just two random situations. Obviously, this is a Chinese New Year, so you just have to wonder if there's something that links these situations together, or if this was just a situation that was random, or maybe this was a guy who saw that take place in Southern California, decided he was going to do his own thing in Northern California today. Whatever the case may be, we've talked a lot about how, we are not anywhere closer to being able to control these things, keep people's minds from going all out of crazy, going into these crazy spaces and doing these unthinkable things. I don't think we can do anything about the ambition of an evil mind or the ambition of a depraved mind. But what we can do is take away the tools that they have to kill people in massive ways. And I just think that we've gotten to a place where, I understand that we love our guns here in America, and I too have no problem with owning one. But at the same time, we do have to understand that these things are finding themselves in the hands of the wrong people, and more guns in the right hands don't necessarily take it out of the hands of the wrongs. So we need to do something. And we need to acknowledge that something needs to be done. And that's the words I want to say. I want those who support guns to acknowledge that something needs to be done. Because that's where we're getting really screwed. It's those who support weapons because they don't want their weapons taken from them. They will allow things like this to happen or act as if this is acceptable. And as long as it doesn't hit their homes, they're fine. And I am of the mindset that we cannot allow those who are indifferent to all of this continue to allow this to be the case. I don't know the answers. Like I said, I'm not the person that thinks that taking all the guns out of everyone's hands is going to be something that this country would accept. I don't believe so. It would be a nice thing if our culture would morph into something a bit more safe in that way. But I think we live in a world where when you give people guns 500 years ago, let them keep it this long, they ain't gonna want to disarm. The paranoia of life in general just makes it so that people want to be gun holders. And like I said, it's a culture here, man. It's a culture. No different than drinking beer and going to football games and tailgating. Holding weapons is a culture, but the problem is that you don't have the same laws everywhere, so there are different places and regions that have different opinions about guns. For example, you go to, you listen to people from the South, and they act as if a gun is like a birthright to them, like they're supposed to be able to have that in their hands as soon as they get a pacifier in their mouth. And people out here in California, our gun laws are so strict to it's like you don't know if we have a gun or not. You know what I mean? You don't know who has a gun, and chances are, if you get stopped with one, you're in some trouble. If you got to have it, if you're transporting it, if you have it professionally, if you're off hours or something like that, it has to be in your car, separated from the ammo, in a locked box. Like, they got all kinds of weird rules out here in California, but the terrain and the land is different. You got gang wars in all corners here. So if everybody's armed, you're going to have gun bullets flying, hitting people left and right. Like, you can't legalize weapons in this environment. In this environment, you asking for it. But in certain other environments where they've used to having guns for 500 years and they never not had their guns, you take the guns from them, it's the end of the world. And in New York, it's even stricter than it is here. You know, they ain't got no sense in New York when it comes to guns. They don't have no tolerance and they don't have no sense. It's a bad combination there. So I just think we need to get to a point, in my humble opinion, where we just come to accept that this is one of those world conundrums that it's not going to be an easy fix based on the love of the culture and how long that culture's been in place. You're just going to have people die out, and their kids are going to have to learn to love a world that doesn't involve America being gun holders. You know, that's what we need is an entire generation of people to die, and for them to let their guns go, and then for a new generation of people to see the fruit in putting them things down. See the fruit in putting them down. How many bullets have hit the wrong people during the duration of times that we've had these things in our hands, calling ourselves all powerful? I don't know that you actually are all powerful when you're catering to the unsafe nature of your environment by continuing to keep these things in rotation. Just because you have it locked away in your place doesn't mean that someday it won't get out of that space and into the wrong hands. And when it does, who knows it's going to point at? No gun is safe because you don't know where it's going to land. No gun is safe because no matter how far away it's locked up, eventually it can be found and it can be given to the wrong person. And once it gets into the wrong hands, you get stuff like tonight. So while there's a bunch of corporations or a bunch of people who are fine with making money over the lives of others, because like I said, it ain't going to hit their household. Unfortunately, for all of us, having them be in charge is going to lead to more people losing their lives. Having them be the determining factor of whether or not this is something that we accept, it is why more people will lose their lives. So eventually the same wanting to kill everybody type of individuals who want to protect the world that we're in and kind of keep the hands that are not well away from those weapons, they need to take their power back. As it pertains to, you vote just like the rest of us do. So you're going to make your voice heard and take the power away from those who don't want to find reason within what it is that we know is necessary. As long as you let the indifferent run the world, they will run it into the ground. No matter what facet of the world it is, it's the people who don't give a shit, people who only care about money, people who only want to see their own household succeed, or why the world is such a horrible place. It's the unselfish people who care about more than what's in their own circumference, that can fathom a world where they can be a solution to a situation, who can fathom a world of standing up against a culture that's been in place for 1,000 years, knowing that it was never any good for us in the first place. It's those people that are going to give us something new and give us a new way and provide that new culture for their next generation to believe in. A culture that doesn't require us having confidence wrapped up in our ability to hold weapons that we can't control. Weapons that weren't meant to protect anything when they were created. They're meant to be aggressive, they're meant to kill, they're meant to take lives, send people away from their families forever. That's all it really is to do. When you really have a gun and that's all it's really good for, man. All this talk about protection, I've never seen a gun stop a bullet from hitting anything. You can send more bullets in a different direction, but you ain't never stopping the one just coming at you. Not at all. You may be able to shoot first, but you better do that damage first before that damage comes to you. It's a damage-doing entity. That's all it is, man. The excuse of thinking you're going to protect yourself, you're not protecting yourself. You're not. People die with guns in their hands every day. You're not protecting yourself. So this is what it is. If they really want to do something, you will legalize all different types of Teflon. In a world where gun violence is rampant, and nobody seems to want to put away the guns, why is it illegal to have bulletproof stuff? Why isn't everything bulletproof everywhere? If we're going to be a gun-happy place, why not everything be bulletproof? And see, these are things that they've never been able to help me understand. I've never saw the logic other than just some wickedness that we've allowed to stay in place for a very long time. There's no real logic that I can understand. Nothing in this head that makes it so that a bulletproof vest is illegal. Because that's a protector a vest. You can't kill nobody with a vest. The worst thing I'm gonna do is beat you with it, throw it at you. I can't do nothing to you by protecting myself from it, and yet that's illegal in certain places. To have a bulletproof vest is illegal. What type of twisted logic do we allow for that to actually be the case? Should it not be every backpack that a child wears be bulletproof? Every hat be made of Teflon? Every car be bulletproof? Every window? Should it not? If we don't want to get rid of the guns, shouldn't we make the world safer to live in with the guns? Or do we not have that in place by design? Because see, a lot of stuff that is meant to protect you ain't there for a reason. It's no different than all the healthy foods being most expensive and all the stuff that's easy to kill your behind being so easy for you to buy for $1. This is the same thing. I don't know what it boils down to, honestly. I got a few theories, but nah, that's not where my smarts go. I just know that I'm looking at something that's foul. That's all I can really say about that. It's probably population control or something like that. Natural selection, as a lot of the evil people love to say. That's what I think that is. They're trying to do something with that, in my opinion. But I really don't know. But what I do know is there's no logical reason, nor any righteous reason for bulletproof vests or any type of protectant to be illegal. It sounds like somebody wanted somebody to be able to kill somebody, not protect somebody. They want to be able to kill you. This is why they would make it illegal for you to protect yourself from the bullets that they're shooting at you. This is what I know. They want to make it easy for them to take down whoever they want to take down. But it tells me, this is what it tells me though. The people who are willing to wear those bullets, the people they trying to shoot at that they want to be able to kill, are going to go through illegal ways of getting those bulletproof vests. It's the innocent people that they have no interest in killing that actually need those vests. It's the innocent people that actually are not going to be chasing in high-speed pursuits that they want to be able to put bullets through. Those are not the ones that need them the most. It's the ones who are going to be hit by the strays. And so as I sit here and I say there is no reason for bulletproof and protectant technology to be illegal in any way, I mean that. There's no logical reason for that. I don't understand why we don't all have bulletproof everything, everywhere. It makes all the sense in the world when you consider how many loose guns are in this country. A lot of stuff is just in place, and we don't even question whether or not is there some sinister energy behind that? If you look at it the way I'm looking at it, it's pretty obvious it is. It's sinister, man. You allow evil in the room. And so this is where it becomes a situation where it's like, I challenge everybody, just like I always do on my channel. We got to think around certain things that have been in place. Think around certain norms, certain sanity things. It's sane to own a gun. It's not sane to require having bulletproof vests everywhere. It's illegal to have a gun here, but it's not legal to have a gun there. It's like, I guess that's supposed to make sense. And what I'm talking about is gibberish, I suppose. I don't know, man, but when I look at situations like this, in 24 hours, in the same state, you got 2 mass shootings hitting a community like this, I say to myself, I don't know that guns would have saved their lives more so than protectant technology would have. If everybody had on a vest, maybe you would have had less casualties there. You know, if everybody had a gun, it'd just been more bullets flying around. And see, these are the type of things like they want to put more arms in. The solution is more guns. Is it really? When stray bullets hit children, is the solution really more guns? Y'all don't want to get rid of the guns. So how about we just invest in the protected technology? I mean, is that too much to ask, American government? Since y'all don't want to use any logic in regards to the gun laws across state lines, you don't want to use any logic. I can buy an assault rifle at Walmart in Texas and go to jail for a handgun for 2 years in New York. Like this type of stuff, man. And you know it. All it does is funnel money in certain people's pockets and keep it out of other people's pockets. No different than any other facet of business. No different. And the money's flowing. That's why you get the laws going a certain way. The money's flowing. That's why politics don't really work. Even though y'all love y'all politics, it don't work because it allows this type of corruption to take place. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. And when it's time to scratch, I gotta scratch. It ain't gonna be a nah, not right now, or nah, this doesn't fit the bill, or nah, this isn't morally correct. Nah, you owe a favor, now it's time to scratch. And so that's how politics works, and that's why all this crap continues to fall in place the way that it does. We just keep relaying the same stuff to our kids. Relay it to our grandkids. Hey, this is how you do it, be a president. This is how you do it, Nah, this ain't how you do it. This is how they did it, they were wrong. We gotta evolve. And I'm always gonna try to express, I don't know the answers necessarily, but I'm not gonna allow us to just say, well, we can't do better, so this is it. That's what our grandparents did, and the people still dying because of that indifference. People are still suffering because of that indifference. We just can't do nothing about it. Oh well. Somebody does something about it though. There's a place in the world where this ain't happening. You know what I mean? There's a place in the world where this doesn't take place every day. Why? Because they don't allow it to. They don't just accept that it is what it is and we're just not going to do nothing. No, we're going to do something. We're going to do something. I've seen too many people do the impossible. I've seen too many people rise out of nothing, doing all kinds of other stuff in the name of ambition, for me to not to see that I can possibly change something or help change something with my voice. Hell no. Everybody's, I want to get $1 trillion. I want to have this. I want to create this. How about we just do something that doesn't necessarily benefit us, but benefits our kids, our grandkids, great-grandkids, teaches them how to do the same thing. And the world has always sucked because nobody wanted to do this, man. The world always sucks. There was only 3 people in the world at a given moment that actually thought like this, and everybody else was like, yeah, let's get mine. I'm going to get mine, and when I die, it's cool because I lived and I was God. There's so many of y'all running around like that, and it's like, man, this is why the world sucks, bro. It's exactly why it sucks out here. This is exactly why life is hard. It's because too much indifference. Too many people are so accepting of everything being just bad. It's afraid to do something about it. Afraid of what's going to happen if they do. Afraid of, man. This is why change don't happen. Because there's too many people scared of what's going to happen if they invoke that change. But the change is always necessary. It's always necessary. And it's the examples. It's that they killed off so many of the people who told the truth. It was those examples that deter so many of y'all from doing it, from being better, for being the voice that creates an environment, or being the change that creates an environment that doesn't have all this. People being scared, people being low frequency, people wanting to get their own thing going, and what ends up happening? More days like this, where you wake up and hear about 2 mass shootings in a matter of 24 hours. And it was more than that. Those are just the 2 I'm aware of. I heard there were more over the last couple of days. It was even more. So it's like, look, y'all can sit up here and act like there's no problem. Maybe you live in a place where it isn't a problem. Maybe you can sit somewhere in your bunker and have 100 guns and feel very safe listening to my voice, knowing that none of this is going to hit your household. You are part of the problem. Many people are going to die because of your indifference. Know that. All it takes is one person not to give a crap, and then convince somebody else not to give a crap. But we have a whole generation or 2 generations of people not changing nothing. I'm sorry, man. I'm not going to let the fear of what could go wrong for speaking the truth keep me from understanding the importance of doing so. I cannot do that. I've had too many examples of where people like this were so necessary and they needed to speak up. Maybe they didn't make it through. Maybe they didn't convince a lot of people of the right. Maybe they didn't. Remember, they weren't successful in what they were trying to accomplish, but they had the desire to try. And I think we need more of that in this world, man. So I'm trying to do a little bit of that on my own here on this channel. So I don't know, man. Solution is not in my head, but if I had one, I'd give it to you. I do believe it's somewhere in technology, though. Fixing the environment for which all of this is taking place, since nobody wants to just stand up to the gun owners and say, look, I respect that I'm probably going to have to fight you to get these out of your hands, but that's a fight we're probably going to have to take, because we can't keep having these guns shooting people left and right just because y'all want to have the right to own them. Now that's a conversation nobody really wants to have. A lot of these people think you got to pry these off my cold dad's hands. I think we're going to have to. I think we're getting to a place where we may have to, buddy. You know, I lived in a world in Los Angeles, California, where a lot of people, we went through a whole era in 92. A lot of people probably watching me weren't even born yet. 92, 91. A lot of peace. A lot of people putting the guns down. People who needed those guns more than you did. Put them down for a time.
Not for a long time, but they came to a point where it was time to at least do some things differently because they didn't like how the environment was molded in that moment. It didn't take outside sources. It wasn't the community complaining. It was the people who were engaging in that stuff realized that they were causing more pain than they necessarily wanted to. And it was time to do some things differently, man. If my community could do that 30 years ago, I think it was a damn good example for what the rest of the country needs to do right now. Y'all got to turn them things in. And I know you're not going to. I'm talking to a wall, and the wall is laughing back at me, but I'm telling you, because of that laughter, that indifference, that folly, people will die. People will die, and I don't know who's going to be next. Who's going to get it next? You know what I'm saying? Probably some of y'all laughing. It'll be y'all kids that get hit with the next stray. And then you remember what I was talking about, and then you will understand why it was important to not do this. To not, we still got our guns though. Nah, you couldn't stop that bullet from hitting your daughter though. I was trying to. When I was speaking in this camera right now, I was trying to. My name is BDF 44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.